I heard Grandmaster Flash and the Wheels of Steel. That was the first sort of do-it-yourself record for me, you know. And when I heard that record, I was like, it was as if all I had to do to make music was to buy some turntables and learn how to scratch. I remember being at school and working through my 6-week holiday at school just to get to some Technics and a mixer, and basically like for the next, I think I was about 15, and for the next sort of year I was just stayed in all the time and just learned how to do that.
Armed with his turntables, Liam started DJing, and he soon got a regular set at a club in Essex called The Barn, and it was the place where the Prodigy was conceived.
I suppose it was our meeting ground, really. You know, whatever you did, you know, if you was going out for the weekend and stuff, you'd always have a Friday night down at The Barn.
People used to come down from London every week, you know, because it was such a wicked night.
Yeah, it was a wicked club. And it was real, and all the people there were really into it. Me and Leroy used to dance, and to be quite honest, I went down there and I'd never danced anywhere in my entire life, ever. Not even at a wedding reception, you know, and...
You sure?
Not sure. I wouldn't say Leroy sort of taught me to dance, although everything that I do has stemmed from dancing with Leroy. You know, sort of saying that Leroy taught me to dance sort of summons thoughts of us sort of putting on our favourite tracks in you know, at home in the bedroom or in the front room or something, and you know, him saying, you know, left ear right there, and you know, turn, and you know, as if you're like as some dance studio. That's not at all.
One thing clearly sticks in my head was a time we were on the beach, and it was about, around sort of, it must have been 5 in the morning or something. There's about 300 people there, and I was DJing at the back of a transit van, and this guy came up to me with, you know, long hair, which was Keith, and he was like, "Oh, the tune you were playing last week, and it went, and he tried to sing it, and I pulled it out. I think it was the right one, you know."
Yeah, it was. And he said, "I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll chuck some of these tracks down and some like it, and I'll sort you out a tape." So, yeah, cool. And then the next week he turns up and chucks me the tape, says, "Oh, that track's on there and a few others, I reckon you'll be into it." And on the other side's my stuff. So, of course, I got home, chucked the tape on, listened to the track that I wanted to hear, and I was, you know, buzzing. It was really cool. Checked out the other stuff, you know, and you don't expect to know people who can write music properly. You know, you've heard loads of sort of like acoustic demo type things that mates have put together, and I chucked it on. I was like, I can't believe that someone I know has put this together. And yeah, it was just, it was superb.
Me, Leroy and Keith decided that we wanted to sort of try and put this thing on stage. We didn't know what it was going to be like or anything at this stage, and we kind of, we had a friend called Ziggy who sort of tried to become our manager, and he had a friend called Max in Reality, and he's like, "Oh, he's mad, you know, he's got this little tuft of hair that sticks out the front of his head, looks like Tinty."
I turned up with my friends on the first show, which was at the Labyrinth, and met everybody, and just got on the stage and just jammed. But I was just freestyling lyrics then, you know. Yeah, it was cool. It was a good buzz.
We turned up about midday or something. Turned up midday, like Boy Scouts being prepared. Get all the equipment all set up, trying to work out where these leads went, and you know, how to rig it to the PA and get sound out of it and shit like that. We didn't have sound men or lighting men, and so you know, so we all turned up and no one really knew what they were going to do or how they were going to do it, and then that's how it all sort of started, really.
Charlie says always tell your mummy before you go off somewhere.
We're on stage, Keith's feeling pretty ill. I was doing a sound check on stage and stuff, and I played Charlie at the mix that was in the charts, and the DJ was also checking his headphones at the time, and Keith went up to the DJ and he was like, "What's this tune you're playing? It's wicked, you know." And he's like, "Oh, it's not me, it's your man over there." And that was me playing the record, you know, and it was the first time you heard it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was
So
feeling ill.
I'm sort of thinking, God, check this tune out, that's nuts.
It was a huge hit, but critics described Charlie as the kiddie techno tune that killed the rave scene.
It was the repercussions after that record which killed it. You know, people who were copying other artists, you know, sort of all this kind of crap that followed the Sesame Street, they were the real novelty tunes. They were cashing in on what I'd done. But once I'd made Charlie, I knew I'd never make another record like that again. In sort of the early days, you got the one-hit wonder thing, you know, you got the dance albums don't sell, all that type of shit, you know, and we kind of, every time we released a record, we sort of, you know, we sort of proved people wrong.
It just showed that if you're real and you stick to yourself or stick to what you believe and you do it for yourself and not for the rest of the world, you know, that was the way to get things to pay off, really.
Something that didn't pay off for Prodigy was the Criminal Justice Bill, the law which put an end to rave parties across the UK.
I was really disillusioned with the whole rave scene, and the final straw was when we were in Scotland on stage at a thing called Resurrection, and there was a guy, an official standing at the mixing desk, EQing the bass out of the music, you know, and when we were on stage. And so I just walked off stage, that was it, you know, I wasn't playing my music, no way. We put a statement on the One Love EP, and that for me was kind of like, that was for me the last time I wanted to play in any rave in England, just because it finished, you know, it had gone. You know, it had gone in '93, it wasn't what I was into when I first got into it, and it was like, we'd already started to make our ways into sort of like small festivals and stuff like that, and that was kind of more of a buzz for us, whether it was going to kill the band or whatever it was going to do. We were just into doing that because it was a good buzz, you know, it was a different thing.
As the hard work paid off, Prodigy felt it was time to take the next step to emerge from the shadows of the underground dance scene.
Everyone before in the dance scene was kind of like scared to step out of it because they were worried about not being underground, you know, which is a stupid thing, really. None of us wanted to be pop stars and still don't. But it's like, we weren't afraid to sort of have our faces in the video. Where other bands were like faceless techno artists, we were like, no, it's possible to be credible and to have a face, you know, and kind of, you know, and that's why we wanted to do a video like that, and it worked, you know, it was a good video.
Everyone was trying to put a name on the music that the Prodigy were making, and that prompted the band to come up with their own definition.
The press spend all year making up stupid sort of descriptions of bands and stuff, and we just thought we'd have a go, you know? But just something at the time that we just said, you know, and all of a sudden it's like, Prodigy are the electronic punks, you know? But whatever. We just do what we do, and other people can make up whatever descriptions they want about what we do.
Magic people, voodoo people.
Take a band, put them in the middle of a jungle on the island of St. Lucia, make them sweat and run all over the place, and create a mini horror movie, Voodoo People.
We had a wicked laugh, but to be honest, like, it's probably the hardest I've worked in like a good 10 years since a labouring job I'd had on a building site.
The voodoo, hoodoo, what you don't dare do, people.
When you try to put effort into sort of, you know, making something exciting and making it new and, you know, have the enjoyment of maybe making a small sort of quick movie sort of thing, but not come across like just cheese masters, really. You know, you want to stay cool and you know, you don't want to look back on it and think that it's not cool.
From character acting to powerful performance, Poison was the tune mixing deep bass sounds and dark drum beats into a rhythmical remedy that brought Maxim to the forefront of the band.
Maxim really wanted to become, at that point, much more of a sort of, he wanted to get on the vocal tip much more. You know, he kind of didn't want to be just an MC. And so we were messing around with vocals, and that track helped him develop into what he does now, you know.
It was good because I just felt like it represented me more, you know. You know, I got the Poison, I got the remedy, pulsating rhythmical remedy, came from my head.
I got the poison, I got the remedy, I got the pulsating rhythmical remedy. I got the poison, I got the remedy, I got the pulsating rhythmical remedy. I got the poison, I got the remedy, I got the pulsating rhythmical remedy. I got the poison, I got the remedy, I got the pressure.
If I haven't got a microphone in my hand, I'm not 100% comfortable. You know, you give me a microphone and I'm comfortable. And that's what I'm about.
It sums up what we do best, really, just the performance side. It's like, you know, it's had quite a live feel about it, and that's what I'm into, really. I'm into that whole thing.
Coming up in part 2 of the show, how Keith got that haircut, live from Red Square, and the story of Firestarter, only in The Essential Prodigy. The tour that followed the release of Poison saw Prodigy taking a new direction, with Keith Flint developing his character within the band.
Having the long hair was like a real kind of party, ravey thing to do. And I suddenly realised that, you know, I was still a part of that. And then I thought, and then you're getting into snowboarding and you know, some more, you know, a bit of a sort of street culture type thing going on there. You know, and I suddenly thought, I'm going to cut it all off and just dye it red. You know, one day I'm sort of having it dyed, and I said, have you got any clippers with you? And they said, yeah. So I just sort of like took the middle out and thought, well, I'll make it a bit wider and stick this bit up here. And went round Liam's, and Liam looked for his kitchen window. Now, what have you done? He said, no, man, it's cool, I like it. I mean, I'm down with it. And
At the end of the day, you know, if you can pull it off, you pull it off. You don't have it, do you?
I mean, you know, I suddenly realised I won't be going to work again. I suppose when you sort of like you leave school, you've got parents. My parents are extremely straight, you know, frighteningly straight. So they've drummed it into you, like, you know, you need to be getting a job. You need to be looking like someone always wants to employ you. And I suddenly realised that I don't have to. I haven't got an employer. I work for myself. This isn't work. I'm having a laugh. I'm in a band. And I'm just going to take the piss.
Hiya! All right, how you doing? MTV, Music Awards. Look, now I've lost the others. Where am I going? Everyone's gone. I don't know where they're going.
If there's an award to be won, Prodigy always seem to go home with quite a few at our annual MTV Europe Music Awards.
There you go, Prodigy. How do you feel?
Woo! Totally ecstatic.
Best dance, best alternative, is it? And best video. Yeah, so that was really nice. Everyone knows you're lucky if you get it 3 times in one night.
The only reason we come to the awards is because it's voted for by the people. You know, we get the coolest people coming to our shows, so we're really lucky, you know. We don't have to play in front of a load of plums. We've got, like, cool people to play in front of, and that's who we respect.
It wasn't voted by the people then, it was more an industry type of thing.
probably wouldn't be here. So.
Well, we wouldn't. We definitely wouldn't be here.
Well, I might be because it's free drink, so.
Prodigy have turned into an essential live act. Their performances are an event not to be missed, and when the boys are on stage, they take it to the max.
I see myself as like two different people, you know. The way you see me now, and then there's Maxim in Prodigy. You know, it's something. It's like Liam's music has brought something out of me. If you saw me on stage MCing before the Prodigy, I would have just been walking up and down the stage, just MCing. But because over the years, the music's brought something out of me, inside of me. It's just like the part of me which wants to do parachute jumps, or wants to drive cars fast, that wants to jump off cliff edges and whatever. That part inside of me has been brought out, and that comes out on stage.
I love doing the festivals myself, you know, all the other bands. You get to know everyone and, you know, it's just spending the summer travelling to all the festivals. I mean, it's probably what most people want to spend their time doing anyway. Listening to good live music, you know, and, you know, sort of soaking a bit of the summer up and stuff.
From the summer to the winter and the ice-cold city of Moscow for a very special show, live from Red Square. And Prodigy really did fire up the crowd from the start.
I remember there was like 2 sets of barriers because there were so many people there. They kind of had obviously the front of the stage and then so many thousands of people and then another barrier. And, you know, on this barrier there was like lines of sort of military sort of soldier or something going on there. And they're like literally sort of bashing kids, telling them to get down and stuff. I remember just sort of running around there and people soldiers trying to stop me and me just getting through and security sort of saying no, he's in the band, you know, but me not really sort of caring too much. Went to this second barrier and literally just pulled 2 of these soldiers down and used them to climb up onto the barrier and, you know, stirred all these people up that were being told to calm down, stirred them up and, you know, got them jumping around. And to me, that the satisfaction of doing that and the lawlessness of doing that was unbelievable. You know, in Russia, suddenly, it proved to me that when you're on stage, you are lawless. What you want to do is what you want to do, and the buzz that overtakes you is unbelievable, and that really proved that to me, that you almost shocked yourself, because I don't think you push soldiers around in Russia, you know, sort of thing that you hear of people not being seen again.
1, 2, 3, 4.
When Prodigy released Firestarter, it was the tune that took them to #1 around the world. That's not bad for something that was just an experiment.
With Firestarter, it was literally like we were experimenting in the studio. I'd written the instrumental to be the first instrumental on the Fat of the Land, you know, just as a starting point, you know. And I said to Keith, I'll come round, I've got this little instrumental I'm working on at the moment. And he heard it and was like, I'd really like to have a go at doing some vocals on this track. I can get a good vibe out of this track. It's kind of doing the right things for me, you know. And then I wanted to try it just to experiment and see what happened, and just took it from there, really.
But not everyone loved the video, and angry parents called TV stations saying that Keith was scary.
The scary thing, I think that is shite, really. You know, I suppose Marilyn Manson's sort of scary, but in a kind of a proper horror, scary kind of way, and maybe, you know, like a twisted kind of way. But I think the more, you know, I'm not scary. You know, I think I'm scary to people that are scared of expressing themselves and just scared of life in general, and, you know, just paranoid people, really.
An another powerful tune and another #1 single in the shape of Breathe, featuring a breathtaking performance from both Keith and Maxim.
The whole idea behind the tune was me and Keith. It's quite confrontational, you know, and the reason why it works so well in the video is because that's the way it works on stage with us, you know, 90% of the time. So basically we took the vibe which we create on stage and we put it in the studio.
A #1 album followed with Fat of the Land, and a controversial video for the tune Smack My Bitch Up, which no one would play except MTV.
We knew the tune was going to get banned anyway, so why not give a video that's going to get banned as well? Even though certain people won't play that video, you know, you look at the video and you think, well, what's wrong with it, you know? I've seen worse films on TV.
There may not be immediate plans for a new Prodigy album, but fans will have something to look forward to in 1999, Maxim's solo project.
It's going to be quite a hard album, you know. It's going to represent me. That's why it's taken so long to do it, really. Because one, getting time to do it, and two, I want it to represent me 100%, you know. There's going to be a few collaborations on it. I'll give you one, which I've done. That's with Guru from Gangstar. But there's going to be a couple more hip-hop artists on there. Once it comes out, I want people just to listen to it as being me. Do you know, it's another angle of me, do you know, and not. Well, it's not Prodigy, is it? Do you know, because it's not Prodigy. You know, it's Maxim.
I'm not ready to go back into writing another album. I just want to get back to that sort of experimental stage where you can just do what you want and kind of not be under the sort of pressure of having to deliver an album, you know, writing to order. I hate writing to order. You know, I'll just write music because I want to write music now.
Oh my God!
There's no point in saying, yeah, there's going to be another Prodigy album until I'm excited about doing one.
Need
and
a
I'm not,
springboard,
you know,
don't you?
I'm not, yeah, like Firestarter was a springboard for the whole Fat of the Land album. You know, I need to just find that, you know, those couple of tracks that lead me on to the rest of the album, you know. And I'm just not, I don't want to do another album at the moment. I don't feel like doing one.